Hey everyone, open your books to page 294 and take out your yellow VIP Exponent Graphic Organizer. We're in lesson 19.3 today, learning about additional properties of exponents. So we are going to develop the power of a power, power of a product, and the power of quotient properties today. And then we're still going to simplify expressions involving exponents. So for question 1, we see this table here. And the first one is done for us. So in my parentheses, I see a 2 squared. And 2 squared is being raised to the 4th power. So 2 squared multiplied by itself 4 times. So I have 2 squared, which is 2 times 2. Again, 2 squared, which is 2 times 2. 2 squared. And 2 squared, which is 2 times 2. So I have 2 squared multiplied by itself 4 times, which essentially is 2 times 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 2. And if I count all of those up, it's 2 multiplied by itself 8 times. So it's 2 to the 8th power. Okay, now, the next column, I have 5 to the 5th power, and that's being raised to the 3rd power. So it's 5 to the 5th power times 5 to the 5th power times 5 to the 5th power. 3 times. Which, if I write all of these out, that's 5 times 5. Keep going. And if we count up all of these 5s, it's 5 to the 15th power. And the last column, I have x cubed raised to the 4th power. So x cubed multiplied by itself 4 times. Now if I expand those out, it's x times x times x. Keep going. And count all of those up. And how many total x's do we have? X is being multiplied by itself 12 times. So if we look at our original expression, this first column, and we look at our last column, the single power, what is happening? What's the pattern that we notice here? What are we doing with our exponents? We're multiplying. 2 times 4 is 8. 5 times 3 is 15. 3 times 4 is 12. So in this little box, a to the m raised to the nth power is a m multiplied times n. M times n. That's the power of a power property. So on the back of our organizer, we're going to write this in. And you should have more room than I do. When raising a power to a power, we multiply the exponents. We are going to do two examples that I want you to try first, but on your own. So 5 squared raised to the third power. When we do that, it's 5. 2 times 3 is 6. Now type that into your calculator. You get 15,625. So either answer is acceptable here. Both answers work. 5 to the 6th power, you can leave it like that. And then b to the 4th power raised to the 10th power. So b, 4 times 10 is 40. Okay, back in your book, I want you to answer question 3. Don't let the fractions scare you. Remember, you're just multiplying, so use your calculator to help you. Six divided by 5 times 25. X raised to the 30 power. Okay, question 4. In my parentheses, I have 2x, and that's my base, and it's being raised to the 4th power. So it's 2x multiplied by itself 4 times. So the book writes that out for you, and then they are going to group together all of their 2's. And if I count them out, it's 2 multiplied by itself 4 times, so it's 2 to the 4th power. And if we group together our x's, it's x multiplied by itself 4 times, so it's x to the 4th power. Okay, the second example here is negative 4a raised to the 3rd power. So negative 4a times negative 4a times negative 4a. I'm going to group together my negative 4's. Then I'm going to group together my a's. And let's count them out. So it's negative 4 raised to the 3rd power, a raised to the 3rd power, Ooh, and look at this last one. This one's a little bit trickier. I have x cubed y squared, and that needs to be multiplied by itself 4 times. Okay, so I have x cubed y squared. So there's 4 of them. Now I'm going to expand out all of the x's. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to squeeze in the y's wherever I have room, which is just 2 of them. So y times y. And now let's count up my total x's. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So x to the 12th power. 8. Y to the 8th power. Does everyone see that? So I wrote out x cubed y squared multiplied by itself 4 times because it was raised to the 4th power. Then I wrote out x cubed, which is x times x times x, and we wrote out y squared, which is y times y. So what's happening here? What are we doing from the first column to the last column? There's a math term for this from here to here. And actually, this math term starts with the letter D. Distribute. So we're taking this exponent and we're distributing it to each base inside the parentheses. So in this little box, it needs to be an M and an M. M and M. So on our organizer, this is power of a product. Power of a product. To raise a product, which is a multiplication problem, to a power. We can distribute the power to each base. So this M goes to the A and the B. Two examples. Okay, I want you to try both of these and see what you can come up with. So this is 3 to the 5th power, w to the 5th power. Now on your calculator, type in 3 to the 5th power. 3 to the 5th power is 243. So we could write 243 w to the 5th power. Or you could just leave your answer as 3 to the 5th, w to the 5th. And then the next example, this is incorporating the last property, power of a power, and the current property. So I have y, and then I distribute the 3, and 3 times 4 is 12. Z, and then I distribute the 3, and 3 times 6 is 18. And that's my final answer. Okay, try question 6 in your book. Don't let the fractions scare you. Use your calculator to help. Distribute and multiply. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. Eight divided by 4 is 2. So c to the 4th power, d squared. Question 7. Let's use the patterns that we've already seen or noticed and predict what is going to happen here. So if I have a power of a quotient property, if I have a fraction, what do you think I do with this exponent? It's the same exact thing. I distribute. So in this little box, we write m's. Okay, so let's try question 8. Again, don't let the fractions scare you. Pause the video and use your calculator to answer this question. So you're going to multiply. Come up with your answer. If I multiply by 3 and divide by 3, these cancel. We're just left with 1. And then 6 divided by 3 is 2. So x divided by y squared is my final answer. And this is our last property that we're going to go ahead and add on our sheet, power of a quotient. To raise a quotient to a power, we distribute the power to the numerator, which is the top of our fraction, and the denominator, which is the bottom of our fraction. Let's do 2 examples. So go ahead and try that one and get your answer. And also try this question and come up with your answer. So 5 is distributed to 2 and 3. So it's 2 to the 5th power over 3 to the 5th power. Go ahead and type that into your calculator for me. You could leave your answer like that, or you could write 32 over 243, which doesn't reduce or simplify. So 2 to the 5th power over 3 to the 5th power, or 32 over 243. Either answer works. And then the last one, distribute and multiply. So V, 6 times 2 is 12. W squared. And then in the denominator, Z, 9 times 2, 18.